everybody, welcome to my FlossTube channel. Go stitch that. I am Vanessa and this is FlossTube number 3. So I had previously said in my FlossTube number 2 that I wanted to post every Wednesday, and I am planning on doing that going forward. Last Wednesday I wasn't feeling great. Allergies have been insane in the membrane here. Crazy. My eyes were all swollen. I just wasn't feeling up to getting in front of the camera. But it's fine. It's Maynia. It means that I have a whole bunch to show you guys. I would like to say real quick, thank you guys if you're watching my channel. I'm new and there's so many floss tubers out there. So if you found me, hello, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I know that I personally enjoy FlossTube, especially as a new cross stitcher. I feel like I learn so much, and even in these really short, almost 3 months that I've been stitching, I feel like the more that I watch FlossTube, the more I open up my horizons and I get to try things that maybe I didn't think that I would try or wouldn't have found without FlossTube, as well as I absolutely love stitch with me videos because I think everybody stitches differently, and I've learned something new in every stitch with me that I've watched. So with all that to be said, I do have some show notes over here to keep me on track, because I feel like as soon as I turn on the camera I just go blah, 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 and I forget things or I get too jumbled. So I have some show notes. Talking about show notes, in my last 2 videos I said I was gonna link some stuff, and I didn't know how to do that or hadn't figured it out. I know now, so when I go in and do the editing on this video, I'm gonna go back into those videos on YouTube and get that stuff linked up. So, we can talk about the elephant in the room. I don't know if you guys can tell at the angle, but today, yep, I broke them. And it's all I was doing was cleaning them. Yeah. So, I don't think my glasses place is open yet. I'm sure if I called, I can figure out a way to send it. But the problem is that these are my only pair, and I don't have any contacts. So, and I'm like blind, y'all. Not like, oh, it would be fine. Like, no. Can't walk. I can't see anything past like this far in front of my face, maybe a little closer. I can see this. Everything else, no, just blurry color blobs. So I'll figure that out. If you guys have any recommendations on how I can get these fixed now during quarantine, during all this craziness, and like get them back, like I can't leave and come back. Like I need somewhere that I can get them fixed, leave with them. Let me know. Help a sister out. Okay. So, it's Maynia, as everybody knows, right? And I decided that being a new stitcher and being new to Maynia, that instead of trying to start a whole bunch of things, that I was going to do every Saturday a new start, and every Wednesday keep what I have been doing pretty regularly, which is spin my wheel, figure out what I'm going to work on that week. I find that I really enjoy working on a project for about a week. I feel like most of the time, by the time the week is up, I don't want to stop stitching it, and I think that's a good thing, because if I'm fed up, I don't feel like I'll want to go back. But with all that to say, you'll see coming up that I didn't really stick to that exact plan, but for the most part I've stuck to that plan. As I'm showing you guys these things, I know I personally like to put my FlossTube up on my big TV. I just go on my phone and I click a whole playlist, and then I just let it run while I stitch. If that's the case, hello, me in giant TV form. I will put a little picture sound every time I hold up my work. That way you know when to look up. Because I don't know about you guys, but when I'm watching FlossTube, they'll say like, okay, this is what I've done, and I'll like look up, and then they're not showing it, and I'll look down and I'll look up, and I feel like I'm playing this chicken game of, am I gonna see it this time, am I not, do I just look? Maybe that's just me, but I figured I could put in the picture sound to help you guys out, because I don't know, I would like to see that more on some other videos. So the last time that we talked, I spun the Wacky Whip Wednesday wheel, which is what I normally spin, and it pulled up Avocado Trio. So I worked on Avocado Trio May 6th, May 7th, and May 8th. And that lives in this project bag. If you guys are new here, I made all of my project bags, and all of them now have a little dangle, as you'll see in haul. But yeah, they all have a matching dangle, which I love. Okay, so I was really excited. My Avocado Trio is by Mari Bori on Etsy, and I was working on this one, so I will put a picture in on where I was now. And you guys, I finished this one. I'm so excited. Oh my goodness. I love her so much. So this is my oldest whip. If you guys watched my first floss tube, sorry if I'm touching my glass all the time. With them being broken, I feel like they're moving everywhere. If you watched my first floss tube, you know that this was the project that got me back into stitching, or like really into stitching, to be honest with you. So I'm so glad. I was originally thinking, because when I purchased this one, the Avocorn, I also purchased the Avocado and the Avocactus. And I was thinking originally I was just going to stitch them all on one long piece. However, now that I've been watching FlossTube and finishing things, I decided that these would be super duper cute as little pillows. So this one is for sure going to be turned into a little pillow. And I picked up by Lady Dot Creates this Polar Ice Chenille. And I think that this is just going to look amazing on the outside of this pillow. And then I decided the next one that I was going to stitch was the Avocactus, and this is where I got. Now, when I was first stitching, so the way that I have these are in my equivalent of floss away bags, and all my bags have this on here so I can just have everything at the ready, the go. The way that this floss was prepared, so I can't remember, like I said in the last video, I can't remember where I got this from, but all I did was just cut. So, you know, each floss string is only double this. So if you're doing the loop method, this is tiny, right? And I will say that when I'm doing two strands, sorry, of floss, I have been preferring to do the loop method to start. And originally I was like, oh, these are all gonna be a waste, I'm just not gonna use them. But honestly, holding this, you know, double this length, just holding two and doing the traditional start method where you just, you know, weave it under or hold it and weave over it, has been working just fine. So I'm just gonna use these up, and I'll, going forward, you know, just do a different method. I will say that I have zero idea what method I'm going to stick with, because I have some stuff in bags, you'll see. I'll have some stuff on bobbins. I have some stuff on floss cards. I probably will get some floss drops. I'm all over the place and just feeling everything out and trying to get a good feel for how I want to kind of permanently keep stuff. And I'm sure it'll change too between DMC. These are all DMC, by the way. This is all DMC. But I have branched out into some fancy flosses, so we'll see, because all of them are stored differently for a lot of people. I've been enjoying FlossTube videos, seeing how everybody does it, and just trying to find the me way, right? Okay, so that's what I worked on for those 3 days, and I was excited to get a little mini finish because, like I said, I started this back in 2018. All right, so then I was working on, also on May 8th, I was working on my reindeer project, which I showed you guys last time. So I will insert where I was. And this is where I am now. All right, sorry, this is a big piece of data. Okay. I'm so excited. You guys, I absolutely love stitching this. I stitched up Comet so quickly. Vixen is almost done. She needs the white part right here, the white in the diamonds and the back stitching, and she's done. I'm so excited. So as things work too, so this was a new start for me. As soon as I roll them as a Maynia new start, then they automatically go onto my Wacky Whip Wednesday spin wheel. So this could come up at any time. And again, I'm absolutely loving it. I can't wait to get back on it. Oh, and I forgot to tell you with the avocado. The avocado trio is on 14 count white Aida, 2 threads. This is on 18 count opal white Aida, also 2 threads. And this one is also currently being stored in the floss away bags, or Ziploc bags, but you know what I mean. All right, so technically I should have only been working on either the avocado trio or the reindeer. But it was May 8th, and I realized that Mother's Day was right around the corner, and what better way to celebrate my mom is to make something for her. So I decided that I was going to try to find a small cross-stitch pattern to give to my mom for Mother's Day. So this is what I got. It's Lizzie Kate, Never Give Up. And what's so cute about this is my mom and I used to run a franchise together, and we would call each other the Make It Work Girls, because no matter what craziness the franchise threw at us, we somehow always made it work. So I thought that this was so fitting and a great way for her to remember me. I do not have, oh, and this was a finish. I finished this, so I worked on this on May 8th and May 9th, and I fully finished this, you guys. So not only did I finish this in 2 days, I fully finished it. So it was my first ever FFO. I gave it to my mom for Mother's Day. She loves it, and I will put photos in of that here. Okay, so for my Lizzie Kate, I ended up picking up a 32 count Belfast in the colorway Fawn. I believe it was a Picture This Plus, but unfortunately, I forgot to write down the actual maker. but I really loved it. So as you guys know, I've only worked on one other piece of linen and it wasn't the greatest. So I really wanted to work on linen because I have this huge sampler that I'm wanting to work on that was on linen. So I picked this up, you guys. I loved it. I held it in hand. I also picked up, as you'll see in haul, some ball tip needles. So with the number 28 ball tip needle on the 32 count Belfast, you guys, fell in love. I was like, all I want to do is stitch in hand with linen now. And I will say that it was a little bit tricky trying to figure out, I don't know if you guys can see, but there was a lot of start and stops of colors. And I don't know if y'all saw in the picture, but it came with this amazing, let me get my hand out of the way, button. So that little part is a little button. And I did change up some of the colors. So this pink, I decided to make a lovely orange. It's my favorite color, and you know, so my mom will associate it with me. While I had picked this out, I decided that I also wanted to do some more practice on linen. So while I was ordering this, I picked up a piece of 28 count, and I decided, oh, real quick, these were the colors for my Lizzie Kate. Look at these amazing colors. I joke around because I feel like this side is so my mom. This color right here, this beautiful, I'm trying to figure out a way if y'all can see it. So this beautiful blue, brown, green, and tan. And then this side is so me. This is the beautiful corally orange color that I chose instead of the pink, purple, aqua, and this cream color. Love it, love it, love it. These you'll see in my haul. I got these floss cards, and I'm trying to decide if I love it, because I loved working off of this. I love the convenience of just having this, throw it in my bags. I've been cutting up sticky notes to stick on here as a semi-permanent way. They do kind of move, so I think I'm gonna get, they have like semi-tacky tape or non-permanent tape, so I might try to do that too. If you guys have any recommendations on how to do it, I don't want to do a wipe off marker because I'm scared it will come off on my floss. But if there's another suggestion, you guys, I would love, love, love. So these were the beautiful floss colors, all DMC, that I used for that project. Okay, so like I said, I wanted to keep practicing on linen. So every time that I purchase from my LNS, and I think a lot of LNSs do this, for those of you who don't know, LNS is my local needle workshop. They normally give me a free pattern of some sort. So I'm gonna hold this back here. It is free, it is on the Be Well. If you look up hashtag Be Well, there is this pattern. So I decided I wanted to do a Be Well stitch. I was in the mood after I finished this small Lizzie Kate. I was loving it. So I picked it up, you guys, and I worked on this Be Well stitch the 10th, 11th, and I finished it on the 12th. Are you guys ready? Oh my goodness. So this is on a light blue 28 count. I pretty much stuck with the called for colors. However, this blue, you can see it, and it's showing up actually really well here, but it's pretty faint. So and they were supposed to be all these little flowers, so I decided to switch it up and add in some teal. And other than that, and I decided not to backstitch the wings because I thought it looked really, really great, and I did go ahead and sign it. You guys, again, now I just want to stitch all these teeny tiny adorable things in hand. I don't know quite yet how I want to finish it. I'm thinking, to be honest with you, that I might add it to one of my project bags. but it's amazing and I love it, and it will always remind me of learning how to stitch on linen. And I'm so proud, you guys, because look at my back. I didn't understand why everybody was so upset about backs until I fully finished that Never Give Up project, because it's true, as soon as I was putting it on the batting and turning it over, you really can see the threads. So on Ada, I really don't think it's gonna matter as much, but you can definitely tell on linen. So I get it now. And I'm learning how to go through stuff and all that. I'm learning and I'm so excited. Every stitch I take, the better I get. I love this, you guys. I love this. So yay! That's 2 finishes in that week. Well, 3 if you count my mini avocado, right? I was on a roll. So these, again, were the colors. I decided that for this one, because it was such a tiny project, that instead of putting a whole skein of DMC, that I just took a length of the floss and put it on here. And since there were so few colors, is there an example? I think I used them all. But I gave 2 circles to each color, so I would have the whole length, and then whenever I had a partial, I would put it on here. So for those 2 little projects, I was loving these little floss cards that I got. All right. So that brought us up to the 12th when I finished Be Well. So, you guys, I didn't want to stop stitching in hand on linen. So I decided that instead of waiting to spin something else, I was in the mood to start another project that I could hold in hand. So I started a new project. This was probably my most anticipated start anyway of this whole situation. Are you guys ready for this? Yes. Yes, that's right. I started Quilting Bee. I'm trying to drop it, y'all. I have the matching Zappy Dots needle minder. I decided to pick up 36 count Edinburgh Country Vintage Mocha. And as I'm dropping it, you guys, I'm trying to see if you can see the true beautiful. It is interesting. It's the kind of fabric where it's modeled on this side and not on this side. Like it's just kind of tan, and then on this side is the actual modeling. Let me pull it in close for you guys. I never wanted to stop stitching this. Now, let me hold it a little bit. Okay, look at this wing, you guys. The called for color that you're supposed to have in this wing is, I believe, Mountain Mist. Gentle Arts Mountain Mist. With Corona and everything going on, I could not find that color anywhere. So, called my local LNS, we chit-chatted for a long time, and we finally decided that Snips and Snails by Crescent City, which I believe is not called Crescent City anymore. So it's this beautiful lime, like pastel lime, pastel violet, and there's also some blue. And I really think it looks like the iridescent shine of a wing when the light catches it. So I decided to stitch vertically on this top wing and horizontally on this bottom wing, and I could not be happier. The only thing I wished I would have thought of was holding some like filament so it would sparkle, but honestly, I love it. I love it so much. The other color, so this color right here was supposed to be, where were we? Piney Woods by Gentle Art. Could not, y'all. Also, could not find that one. It wasn't a thing. It didn't exist. So I decided to go with, let me find my brown. Oh, please. Pecan pie, or if you're from the South, pecan pie. Why y'all shaking? Which I think goes beautifully with this color, which is mustard seed. So that is this part. Now, where this teal color is, I tried to do the DMC where you hold, you know, it said the closest thing you could get to Mountain Mist was holding these two DMCs together. And the closest thing to Piney Woods was holding these two, this yellow and this brown together. I hated that, y'all. I didn't think it looked good. I decided everything else in this had this beautiful variegation, and that's really what I wanted because it's my first time diving into variegation, and I really, really, really wanted that particular look. So I am going to rip out this teal part, and it's going to be Snips and Snails, like up here. So that should be really interesting. It is going to give it a different look. Like I said, this is my diving into linen, and I love it, love it, love it so much. So much. I did not want to put this away. Again, we'll flip it over, we'll show the back. And I think I said this, but this is 36 count, 2/2. So there's my back. You guys, this one will probably be the first one that I frame because I love everything about this pattern. I mean, this might be the most beautiful pattern that I am stitching currently, possibly. I don't know, I love them all, but isn't that the point? And this is my first time diving in. So again, I'm using Snips and Snails, Pecan Pie, Green Onion, Lagoon, which is so beautiful. Hello, camera light, I want you to show. Oh, I wish I could show you this color more. But it's, can you see it? No. Okay. Mustard seed and old purple paint. So beautiful. So beautiful. And I worked on Quilting Bee May 12th, May 13th, May 14th, and May 15th. You guys, like I said, I did not want to put this one down. So 4 days of work into this beautiful one. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, so also on the 15th, I decided that I didn't want to get sick of Quilting Bee, even though I know I wouldn't. And I had, at this point, done 28 count linen, 32 count linen, and 36 count linen. I was feeling really excited about linen. I was feeling really excited about linen in hand, and I decided that I wanted to just break out, you know, screw the wheels, screw spinning anything. I was ready to start my sampler on my very expensive, beautiful linen. I was ready. So that's what I did. On the 15th, I started my very first ever sampler. Now, what I think is so funny is when I first started cross stitching, I was like, I'm not into prim style samplers, anything like that. It wasn't my jam potatoes. But I keep watching FlossTube and all you enablers. I don't know, it's just so beautiful. And when I was doing the Quilting Bee, which I feel like is kind of Quaker style, I was really enjoying just the flow of that. And like I said before, I got given a whole bunch of cool vintage patterns. I mean, I don't know if you can call this one vintage. It was in the, it's not vintage. It's copyright 87. Okay, so it's only a year older than me, so it's not vintage, but this bad boy. Oh, there's a glare. Okay. The Plantation Sampler. I don't know, you guys, something just spoke to me. I'm a Southern baby. I love going to plantations. It spoke to me. So, let me get out this Giganto. Are y'all ready for this? So, I just have an extra one of these because I have to fill in with that color, and we know that's going to be a lot. I just want to show you these beautiful. Now, this is all in DMC because this took a lot of floss and DMC. So, look, these are some beautiful cream, khaki, tan, light green, another beautiful green. And then we'll look at this side. Oh my goodness, you guys. We have like a taupe, and we have a tan and a cream, two different pinks. We have a nice brown. These are all, so this is going from like a frosted blue into like a sage, a mint, another beautiful green. And then look at all. It has so many beautiful greens and teals in it. I cannot. It's so beautiful. And like I said, these are working so well. Now I did put the whole skein on these because it is a big project and I have a feeling it's gonna take it. So I didn't know how well this was gonna go in hand because let me just it's upside down. This thing is not little. Let me back up for y'all. Okay. So yeah, she not little. So I didn't know how I was gonna like it in hand. This is a 32 count Lauren and by Weeks Dye Works in the colorway Platinum. And I stitched a little bit in hand. I didn't love it. I love stitching in hand. I did not love stitching this one in hand. So I have been putting this one in a Q-snap, and it's fine too. I'm loving it that way as well. Let me fold this up for you guys to see. All right, so I did, how many days did I work on this? I worked on the Plantation Sampler 2 days, May 15th and May 16th. This is what I worked on. So this is the beginning of that beautiful willow tree. And then I have this full tree in. And I have the beginning of a bird and the beginning of a hare and some of the fence and the start of the house. This entire thing is going to be filled in with this color. Now, if you see, I've decided on this, what did I say this was? A 36 count, right? No, 32. I decided on this 32 count that I did not like 2/2. I've decided to do 1/2. And I'm really liking the coverage. I'm trying to see if I can get up really close for you guys. I was worried about this darker color, right? Because darker colors don't have as good coverage, but look at that. I'm really enjoying the coverage. And it's a sampler, and I feel like it's supposed to be a little more, I don't know, vintagey. If you can tell, I did not go with this like khaki natural linen look because to me, you can't read these colors very well. So I've decided to go on this gray, this platinum color. And so far, I have not needed to change any of the colors. I was worried about this because this is actually light blue, but it's actually showing up really well. And I'm really liking how these green colors are showing up as well. I love this. I couldn't be happier about starting my first sampler. I think it's going to take me 500 years because, like I said, look at that entire thing is filled in. But I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And like I said, I have started this, and I've done this, and I've started right here. I love it, you guys. I can't wait for this to spin again so I can get more work. But again, 32 count, Lauren, and I'm doing 1/2. So that brings me to also on the 16th, I got to do a spin. I decided I needed to get myself back together and spin for another Maynia. So because I added the quilting bee and the bee well and the never give up, I was adding more. So I'm basically going to have a whole lot more starts than my original 5 starts. And I've added a couple more, as you'll see in haul. So when I spun my Reflections NOLA by Ink Circles, and I was dying to start this, you guys. Dying to start this. I'm a NOLA baby. I love this so much. The more you look at it, the more you can see stuff. And it has fleur-de-lis, saxophones, horns, crawfish, carnival masks, statue of Andrew Jackson, St. Louis Cathedral, gesture hat, beads, and more, all in there. And as you can see, they decided to do a, one color variegated floss all the way through, and they gave you some different options. So what I decided to do is I picked out this Cotton Threadworks in Mardi Gras, because how perfect is that? Also, my birthday normally falls right during Mardi Gras, so it is my favorite holiday. So I picked this beautiful cotton floss, and I picked this amazing, where's my little tag? This is done on a 16 count Ada in the colorway Flapper, which is the most beautiful. And I only worked on this for one day. Oh, it's so beautiful. I don't really know why I only worked on it for one day. I love it so much. So this is where I am. I have one whole fleur-de-lis done and the start of a horn. I love it. And this is, like I said, 16 count Ada, and I'm doing 2 floss guards. And because it is variegated, I am choosing to do 1X at a time. So this is beautiful. And I've decided to use this entire piece. It's not going to be very big, but I love this fabric so much. I'm planning on leaving a pretty substantial border when I frame this to hang in my house during Mardi Gras. Love it, love it, love it. So I did, like I said, I only worked on that one day. It is still currently my Maynia, so I will not spin again for another Maynia start until Saturday, so I have plenty of time to pull this out and work on it. Then on the 17th, 18th, and 19th, I decided that I really needed to pull out another whip because I had just started all the things, and I really needed to spin and work on a whip. So I spun my wheel, and I spun Miss Ginkgo from Nora Corbett. And I'm so excited that I spun this one. So I was nervous, to be honest, when it spun, because this was my first project that I had done on linen. No, y'all. No. It was terrible. So I frogged the whole thing. I didn't have very much. This is what she's gonna look like. And I had just like this part of her arms done. Was all I had. And it looked terrible. Y'all, terrible, terrible. I've learned so much about working with working with linen, so I just frogged it all. I knew I would be happier that way. This is being worked on. Oh no, I don't have my, oh yeah, okay. 32 count linen by Picture This Plus in the colorway Haunted. And it's interesting because I was trying to find this colorway because a couple of people were asking me about the color. And other Haunteds look very different than this one. This one's a lot more teal. But look how beautiful. So, this is where I am. Oh my goodness, you guys. To say that I love this project is an understatement. Orange and teal are my absolute, so orange is my favorite color, but orange and teal are my absolute favorite color combination. And I mean, this project is just stunning. I'm so glad that I took her arms out and reworked them because I could not be happier with them now. So I have all of her bodice done in her main arms. I haven't gone up and started the shoulder and the décolleté. And then I've started out here on her skirt. You guys, love it, love it, love it. Oh my goodness. So yes, very, very, very excited. I love this size because this is such a great size for me to stitch in hand. I love this fabric. I love stitching on linen. Here's my back. I love it. Now I will say, up here got a little jumbly only because there's so many color changes to get this beautiful shading of the bodice, but it's so worth it. I did ask a bunch of people on Cross Stitch Unlimited on Facebook if they bead as they go. Do they not? I understand if you're putting it in a frame, you wouldn't want to bead as you go, but if you're holding it in hand, especially a little project, because I'm basically never going to be holding a part of the project that has beads on it. But yeah, let me know. Do you guys bead as you go? Do you bead afterwards? Do you backstitch and then bead? Or do you bead and then backstitch? I'm new. Help me out. So for this project as well, I've decided that I am doing it all in DMCs. And so I've decided for this, I'm just pulling out a length of DMC and putting it on this floss card and then kind of refilling as I need. And so as you can see the way I'm doing it, so I have lengths. I have like a little length here that I can keep reusing because there's a lot of just little sections. So a lot of stopping and going. And I think I said this, but on this 32 count, I'm deciding to do 2/2 as opposed to my other 32 count where I'm only doing 1/2. Who knew? I guess it just depends on the look and the feel that you're going for. This requires 2 different kinds of beads, so I did pick up this Nymo. I know some people are just perfectly fine using DMC. I decided I don't have this color in the pattern. For whatever reason, everything is orange except for these beads. There is some orange color play to it, which is probably why, in these beads. And so I decided I wanted to try the Nymo, and hopefully I don't have to find a floss that matches this just to put on the beads. So we shall see. All right, you guys, so it is time to spin the Wacky Wednesday whip wheel. And I'm so excited. As you can see, it's getting bigger as I add in all the stuff. So let's see what I get. So I will be working on the Chopping Mall by the Witchy Stitcher, and I'm so excited, you guys. I absolutely love this. I can't wait to work on that this week. All right, you guys, so that wraps up my Maynia and everything that I worked on. That leaves, hold on, I have this, my bucket over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I have 5, I think, 5 more starts. I have 4 or 5 more Maynia starts. I'll have to look. I don't have my whip wheel in front of me that I get to still spin for going forward. So I already showed you that I finished one of my avocados. I finished Never Give Up. I finished Be Well. And if you guys watched my other 2 videos, you'll remember that my very, 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 very first cross stitch that I ever did, I couldn't find it. Well, guess what? I found it. I even signed it, which I absolutely love. So it was done 2016. Isn't she, focus? Yes. Isn't she amazing? You guys, I even did French knots. Better than I do them now. So this was just a kit. So it's kit Ada, 14 count. I love her. My back is crazy potatoes, but that's okay because it was my first. And who cares? It's on Ada. You'll never see it. This was finished in like a little blue like ornament thing, but I kind of thought it looked cheesy and tacky, so I'm gonna find a better way to finish her as my very first cross stitch memorial. And as y'all know, orange and blue, love, love, love. So I actually have finishes and fully finishes. How exciting. So that brings me to haul. I am very, 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 very excited to say that FlossTube threw me into Bee Stitch Me. So Brandy at Bee Stitch Me, I'm sure you guys have heard all about her. Not only does she do a monthly Fabric of the Month Club, that was redundant, but you know what I mean. She also does these things called Friday Fight Night. So on Friday, she will put up albums, and basically the first person to say, I want that, wins it. I did that for the very first time. So not only did I join the Fabric of the Month Club, I did a Friday Fight Night. And also, as a added perk to her Friday Night Fight Night, if you get some of her fabric from Friday Night Fight Night, she does giveaways. And I won one of her giveaways. It was just the most amazing thing. So I got the Friday Night Fight Night fabric first. And, okay, so the first one that I got from Friday Night Fight Night is a 16 count Ada in the colorway orange. Duh, y'all. Oh my goodness. I hope, yeah, this is showing up. It is so beautiful. So freaking beautiful. And although I love stitching linen in hand, I think Ada will always be my preferred, especially in these lower counts, 16, 18. Just because it's so much easier. You can just jump around. But look at this beautiful, I want to bathe in this fabric. This is me in a color right here. Just, oh, I love it. So I got that one. Then I kept, so I was late, by the way, to Friday Night Fight Night. She normally puts them up at 9 o'clock. I forget which time zone. But either way, basically an hour after she had posted, I went on. So it was kind of slim picking, but I strongly recommend, even if you guys are running late, to go, because people will back out and change their mind. And also secondary like something if you're absolutely in love with it, because if that person backs out, you're next in line. But I went back and forth, back and forth. This is also a 16 count Ada, and I don't know why. I think it might be because this is my daughter's favorite color, but I fell in love with this. It's called Tree Hugger, and it's this beautiful greeny, bluey amazingness. I have no idea what I'm gonna do on this, y'all, but I love it. I love it so much. So I'm happy that I got this. And then this next one, y'all. So it was 14 count Ada, which I don't love. I'm doing 2 projects right now. My Harry Potter Letters to Hogwarts and my Avocado Trio are 14 count Ada. And I'm like, why 14 count Ada? but this colorway was so beautiful. I didn't want to pass it up. So again, this is 14 count Opal Ada in the colorway Fall, and I'm dying, y'all. Oh my goodness, I can't. It's so beautiful, so freaking beautiful, y'all. This beautiful green to orange with the sparkles. Stop it. So I will say, I'm glad that I got it. I don't know what I'm actually going to put on this particular 14 count Ada, but Brandy at Be Stitch Me does custom orders. And if you're a part of her Fabric of the Month Club, you get a discount. So I'm planning on ordering this colorway in the opal, but in a linen for my big Mirabilia mermaid that I've been trying to find a colorway for. This is it, you guys. This is the one. This is the winner. So I am going to have her custom order them. Speaking of Fabric of the Month, I'm currently in the 18 count Ada. I think I might switch it up and do some linen now that I have a couple Adas from her. So next time I think I am going to do a 32 count linen. But as you guys know, orange is my favorite color. Oh, warning, if you guys are in the Be Stitch Me Fabric of the Month Club and you have not received your fabric for the colorful one, not the neutrals, spoiler alert, don't look if you want to be surprised, although I do think that it is out everywhere now. But it's called Dreamsicle. Y'all, how could the very first time I join a club, it be orange? It was meant to be. I love it. It's so beautiful. So freaking beautiful. And I love that, oh, let me hold this up. So this is the normal orange color, the like regular orange, and this is her Dreamsicle. So there is a big difference. This is more corally, this is more bright orange, and this is with the beautiful fall colorway. I mean, you guys, all the oranges. So as you can see, there was an orange and green theme to my fabric haul this month. So I love it. And now I have my very first fabric stash. I had never had a fabric stash, so I'm very, very, very excited about all of that. And this piece is extra long, which I absolutely love as well. Okay, so that was all of my Be Stitch Me fabric. Again, just one more time because I can. It's so beautiful. If you guys aren't buying Be Stitch Me fabric, why? Go. Also, I told you that I won her giveaway, right? So let me pull that out. It was really funny because when I got, well, not funny, but it was really sweet of her because when I got my fabric order, the pattern was not in with the fabric. And I had seen on Instagram, most of the people who had won a pattern got it. So I had emailed her and she didn't respond. So I was like, I'm probably just lost in a sea of emails because during this time she had already had another Friday Fight Night and she was super busy. So I just shot her a text and I was like, hey, just letting you know, I didn't receive the pattern. If you wanted to put it in with my Fabric of the Month, if not, whatever. I mean, it was a free pattern. I'm not gonna be like, where's my free pattern? It was free, whatever. But she ended up shipping it separately, which I thought was really sweet. She didn't have to do that. But this was my very first ever winning a pattern ever in my life, and it's Jardin Privé of, wait, I'm gonna butcher this. A fil de mois, which it's basically the months. So this isn't completely my style, but first of all, black cat. I have 3 black cats. Second of all, Beefskip. Third of all, I'm that mom that I have an entire wall for how we organize our family. Everybody has a little wipe off board. We have a monthly wipe off board, and I thought, how cute would it be to stitch each of these and turn it into a little magnet that I can just smack up on my wipe off calendar for the months. So, and I think I'm gonna switch it up, play around with the colors, make this more modern. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to have won it, and I'm excited to have stitch these little bitties, because we all know that I'm into linen in hand itty bitties right now. Love it. And I don't know if this was just out of the kindness of her heart, or if everybody in the Pattern of the Month Club got this, or what went on, but she also sent me another pattern, which is this. Good night, sleep tight. Look at the little freaking reindeer and the owl. And I don't know if you can see, but this little charm, I mean, what? And this is by, where's this? Fairy Wheel in the Wood. Lullaby Collection #1. I just thought this was so freaking sweet. And it looks like the snowflakes are actually digitally added on. But if I was gonna stitch this, I would stitch it on that polka dotty fabric. So I'm excited to add these patterns free into my, I thought that was so sweet. So thank you so much, Brandy, for these. Amazing. I love it. Now, as y'all know, I make project bags and I'm out. So I'm currently 4 project bags short, and I will be needing more as I decide to kit things up. So I bought zippers, y'all. I bought this whole lot of zippers off of Amazon, so I was so excited to get these. And I bought some more stuff. All of these that you guys already previously saw, all of these were so cheap. I need to look it up. If I can figure out how to leave the link, the same link, they're really good. Like, I don't think they're gonna break really easily, but they're not super rigid. I love putting these in my project bags. I love them. I am so glad I have a whole bunch of them. Like I said, I'm still figuring out how to label them properly, but I'll get that down. So I'm really glad that I found these and I'm trying these. I think I showed this to you guys last time. I got a whole bunch of rings. I got all these little dangly charms in just an assortment of color to put on all my project bags. A whole little assortment of them. I think I got 40 of them. And then I bought all of these. Now, the idea with these was that I was going to write the name, and it came with like these little things that you pull through and attach, and I was gonna hang them on my project bags. They're too big and bulky. It's just not working. So I'm not sure, but I think I'm actually going to end up cutting these to where this is 2 separate pieces and stitching these onto my project bags so that I can just then take the card and slip it in and write on it. I think, to repurpose them, because I bought a bunch of them. They were inexpensive, but like I said, they're just too big for what I was originally thinking. But I'm pretty sure that I can sew, cut open, sew down. I'll let you know about that. So that was all of my haul, question mark? Oh no. One more thing. When I was buying the linen and other stuff, I couldn't help myself. I had fallen so madly in love with my Reflections Nola pattern that I decided that I needed more ink circles. So I picked up this one. Look at it. And this is Ars Robotica. And I'm super feeling it. Now, I haven't kitted it up yet because if you look at this pattern, it looks like it's only 2 colors, kind of like a red, obviously, and a gray. But actually, if you look like inside this clock, that thread color matches this background to give that effect. So whatever linen or Aida that I decide to do with this. I'm gonna have to play around and see if I want to get the same kind of look as this or if I want to do it more as a 3-color. But I was in love with this and I think this is gonna look super freaking cool. Obviously it's gonna be orange, not red, and probably like lagoon instead of this gray. I don't know. That's just off the top of my head. So that's all my haul. All right, so that brings me to plans. I, this week, get to work on my Reflections NOLA as my Maynia start this week until Saturday. And I just spun my chopping mall, so I will get to work on my chopping mall again until next Wednesday when I see you guys and we spin again. Now the only thing that's going to be different is, let me grab it out. Starting on Sunday, which I believe is the 25th, I have joined a sale, and it is by the Stitching Book Club, and they are doing a Secret Garden sale. So we are going to be reading The Secret Garden. Look at this beautiful copy I got. I'm so excited, and it has the gilded edges. And so I believe it's each week for 4 weeks. I need to double check. We get a homework assignment for reading, as well as we get part of a mystery style to stitch on. And I have 32 count linen by Witchalt in chocolate raspberry, which is the called for color. That is showing up way more red than it actually is. I'm trying to see if that's any better. What do I have that could help this out? I don't know. It's actually more of a brown. That's showing up really red. It's actually more of a true like chocolatey raspberry color. And I'm excited to stitch this in hand. I know some people don't like the stiffness, but I think this is gonna be really awesome to stitch with in hand. And as y'all know, I'm super into linen in hand right now. So I'm very, very excited about that. She's done a couple sneak peeks of what's to come for this, and she said there's going to be a special finish, so you had to buy a specific size of fabric. I'm so excited. I'm super into the sales right now. I love to read. I'm a book nerd. I actually haven't read this. I've seen the movie, haven't actually read the book, so I'm excited to get this started. I'm so excited. So this will be also going into my rotation. It won't be on a spin wheel because it has like assigned homework. But during the weeks that I have this, there will be 3 projects for me to bounce around on. Then the only other thing, in haul that I forgot to tell you guys about. If you guys remember, I think the second one, I was stressed about, I had ordered from Sassy Jacks and it took forever. They got swamped with just quarantine orders, which is great for them, but I did finally get it, and I am so excited because yet again, it is linen. I am planning on holding it in hand. The thing that's a bummer is I don't have a photo on hand, so right here, cha-ching, I will insert. Sassy Jacks has a line of patterns that they put out themselves. I believe it's Sassafras Samplers. They are doing a four-part series, and it is their Spooky Shakespeare series. And I fell in love with their first one, which is Phineas Snake. As you guys see right here, Phineas Snake. I loved it. Again, I don't know what, I think it's all the orange, right, in the pattern, but I just loved all of it. So I decided to order from them their kit. So this is for Phineas Snake, and this is their color. It's 36 count tin roof, Weeks Dye Works. So I don't know if you can really see. It's like a, it's more green in real life. It's kind of showing up as a khaki, but it's more of like a greeny khaki. I don't know if you'll be able to see. Also, what a great size. I'm gonna absolutely love stitching this in hand. I think I want to just stitch all the linen in hand for the rest of my life. That's not true. I will never give up Aida because I do love Aida. And then I ordered the floss for this as well. So it's my second time getting fancy floss. There are 2 DMCs. And then let me pull the colors for you. So there's Weeks Dye Works Juniper, Charcoal. I'm just seeing if you can see the difference between the juniper and the charcoal. So one's green, one's gray. Mascara, which everybody says is just DMC 310. Curry. My absolute to die for persimmon. You guys, this is probably what attracted me to the pattern. I'm gonna have to buy some of this just to have, because this is beautiful. This is like my favorite color. And I love persimmons. Pecan. Chestnut. Envy. And then another one of charcoal. So it's a beautiful color palette. Like I said, I'm dying over this orange. So I'm very excited to get that one started whenever it pulls up on the wheel. And I was excited to get it, and I totally understand that they were, you know, running slow, running behind. So with all that, what else do I have? Oh yes, plans. So I'm loving stitching my Miss Ginkgo by Nora Corbett, which is actually a preparatory get used to the pattern for my big Mirabilia mermaid one that I have. And as I'm stitching it, and as I'm kind of becoming better and better at stitching and wanting to try all the things and do all the things, I've decided I wanted to try my hand at changing up a pattern and picking out my own colors. So for the Miss Ginkgo, I've decided that I want to make a companion piece or a sister piece, and I'm going to find a beautiful piece of orange linen, and I'm going to switch it up and mix it up. So instead of having a yellow and orange dress, I'm going to do a beautiful teal dress. And I'm going to have her skin be African American, and I'm going to switch the hair up a little bit as well as the beads. So basically they're going to be kind of the reverse images of each other, the reverse. I love it, and I'm planning on either framing it together or framing them separately and hanging them together. So you can look forward to that. I will be working on just having fun doing that. And other than that, I think that's everything. Thank you guys so much if you're still watching. I hope that you guys are having a blast sewing. I hope you're doing sewing. Oh my goodness. Stitching. I've been sewing so many masks. It's on the brain. I hope that you guys are enjoying as much of all the good things that you guys can as we're getting towards the end. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, right, during this time. And I cannot wait to continue watching you guys on FlossTube. If you're not on FlossTube, thank you guys so much. See you next time. Bye.